Whoa, this is crazy. Look at these deep tunnels.
Did you know that the longest cave system in the world was pioneered by a black man?
How about the opportunity to kayak or stand-up paddle in a dark mine?
Did you know that you're able to mountain bike, zip line, and search for gems in the same cavern?
Hey guys, it's Pascal
And Mo
with Art of Adventure. Today we're gonna take you through 3 can't-miss caves in Kentucky. Let's start at Louisville Mega Cavern. It's kind of weird driving up to the place. It's surrounded by a business park, and it feels like you must have made a wrong turn. But then...
You would never know this was here.
You would never know this is here.
Well, I guess we just parked.
The Mega Cavern is an old limestone quarry turned, well, into an adventure palace. The cavern greets you with a long passageway with all kinds of interesting factoids along the walls. Once you enter the cavern, you start to sense just how massive this place is. It's 100 acres. To put that in perspective for you, that's about the size of 75 football fields. And the Mega Cavern has figured out how to maximize its opportunity as a tourist attraction. There's an obstacle course, walking tours, tram tours, zip lines. You can mine for gems. And yes, there's even a mountain bike tour. These are the bikes that I assume we'll be taking. Look, this isn't the type of mountain biking where you're gonna get a ton of miles. While our tour guide told us there are miles and miles of bikeable trails down here, this tour has you pedaling for less than 2. You know what I'm used to? A seat that goes down. And this is the only biking tour they offer. That old jump park, it's gone. This is so wild. 2 miles might not seem like a lot, but you see and learn a lot. We started out by looking for cave salamanders. With only a headlamp to light the way, I did my best to get video. It is really, really dark in here. Dark until you're greeted with something that falls between, let's say, zombie apocalypse and holiday light tour. One of the unexpected sights of a cavern tour. What? The glow of the lights really does transform the cavern into a beautiful underground wonderland. The photos do it a little more justice than the video. Trust me, it's even better in person. One thing I want to make sure to mention is the moisture in the air. They say this cavern has 2 seasons, wet in the summer and dry in the winter. It stays 58 degrees year-round. One suggestion I would make is visiting during the winter. Otherwise, look at the moisture through the beam on my headlamp. Yep, this is what you're breathing here in the summer. This cavern has a history beyond mining too. This is creepy. It has also served as a fallout shelter. According to Louisville Mega Cavern's website, the state made plans to house 50,000 people in the cavern in case of a nuclear attack. That was during the Cuban Missile Crisis in the early 1960s. I'll be honest, this is not the tour to burn a ton of calories or test your skills on a bike. But if you want to experience a cool tour, learn a bit about the history, and do something you've never done before, like mountain bike in a cavern, I say do it. Okay, when you think of Kentucky and you think of caves, you have to think about Mammoth Cave. So did we. Today we are still in Kentucky. We're at Mammoth Caves, which actually has the longest cave system known in the world.
It's facts.
Facts. There are more than 10 different tours through and around Mammoth Cave. I added links in the description so you can make the choice that's best for you and your family. Mo and I chose the historic modified tour. That's a 2-mile hike through Mammoth Cave. Baby. So 2 hours. what do you say, 300 feet below the surface at the lowest point?
Something like that.
With plenty of descending and climbing along the way. Let's go. The rangers do warn you, if you're claustrophobic, this is probably not the tour for you. Our guide also told us about 2 really sketchy sections of the cave. They're called Tall Man's Misery and Fat Man's Misery. So yeah, you do the math. Making the turn, what does it feel, about 20 degrees colder? As Mo reminds me, did you bring your sleeves? Nope. Mammoth Cave starts with some fairly wide open spaces. Almost immediately, the tour guide starts diving into the historical significance. We learn these are actual wooden pipes still here that were used to extract some of the minerals needed to make gunpowder for the War of 1812. As we started to descend deeper into the cave, it became apparent how easy we have it exploring in the 21st century. There are concrete walkways, steps with railings, lights and strategic spots along the walls. At one point, our tour guide asked everyone to turn off the lights from their phones, and he turned out the lights in the cave. All he had was an old school lantern.
Don't believe it, I'm telling you. All right, here we go. In 1816,
That's how the original explorers scampered through these caves, only a lantern in hand, or maybe just a candle. They had to claw and climb and feel their way over the rocks, only seeing a foot or two in front of them at a time. It's one thing to do that in this wider part of the cave, but things are about to get much, much tighter. When we pass the coffin, we go to Dante's Gateway?
Yep.
All right. And much sketchier. One wrong step and you can fall a long way down. Back when the original explorers were pioneering this cave, they had no hope of rescue. A couple people on our tour bailed at this point. They had enough and turned around.
So the first person in front of this bad boy.
As Mo and I ducked and stepped deeper into Mammoth Cave, we learned a lot about a man named Stephen Bishop. Our tour guide called him Stephen. Stephen was an African-American slave who arrived at Mammoth Cave in 1838. According to our guide, he's responsible for the majority of the cave's exploration in that era. I was so fascinated with the thought of pioneering this cave. No modern tools, very little light, tight tunnels, exposed rock, deep crevices, and Stephen Bishop pioneered miles and miles of it. While Stephen was forbidden from making money above ground, he was allowed to work as a tour guide in the cave. He was very popular and often requested by tourists. I can tell you our tour guide did a good job of making sure Stephen Bishop's legacy stays very much alive at Mammoth Cave. Back on our tour, Mo and I made it through Tall Man's Misery and Fat Man's Misery. It was tight, it was wet, and it was chilly.
It's no ride at Disney.
The nooks and crannies of this cave are so cool. Make sure you stop and really look around. Another cool feature are these cave writings from the 1800s. The tour guides back then would make a few cents allowing people to use the smoke from a candle to leave their mark. Of course, it's forbidden now, even though I did ask our tour guide if he had Venmo. Hashtag Art of Adventure.
Our ranger just reminded us it's all up from here.
And there are a lot of steps up. About halfway through that venture, you get to check out Mammoth Dome. I thought about how incredible it must have been for Stephen to discover it back in the 1800s. What would he think now to see it lit up like this, with dozens of people oohing and awing?
The first explorer who found this must have felt some kind of special.
It is a hike from here. There are almost 200 steps in this room alone.
Oh, here we go.
And they go straight up. Before you know it, there is a literal light at the end of the tunnel.
More steps. But don't let that deter you guys. This was so cool. So cool. You have to see it.
As you leave, you do have to walk over soapy water to clean your shoes.
That eliminates white nose syndrome, which apparently bats here carry. Not that it's an issue for people, but they don't want you to carry it to another cave. Wouldn't be America if you didn't exit at the gift shop. Awesome. 412 miles worth of cave already discovered, which they think there's much more. Someone said there's probably as many as 1,000 miles of cave, just still not even just explored. So amazing. And then I think the force of water. I'm always amazed at, you know, because all of those caves were carved out by the force of water over millions of years. And it's just so cool that it's exposed and you really get to see a part of Earth you don't normally see.
It's really cool to see that. I've heard about Mammoth Cave since I was in high school, grade school. We learned about Mammoth Cave, but man, it's pretty cool to see it. It's a national treasure.
National treasure and a national park. When's the last time you visited a national park? They're here for us, guys. Parks are here for people. Let our experiences lead you to new experiences.
Yeah, just go check stuff out.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Go get it.
As promised, we have one more underground wonderland to explore in this video. This one takes us to Rogers, Kentucky, and another old limestone mine.
Look at this place. Do I feel like the cool air coming from there?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've hiked Mammoth and biked Louisville Mega Cavern. Now it's time to get our paddle on with our friends from SUP Kentucky.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
This mine is filled with water. It was a working limestone mine until the 1980s, but the workers dug too deep and hit the aquifer. So now it's home to 48-degree water year-round. Mo and I got set up with clear kayaks, which I highly recommend for this adventure.
Great drink.
We even got to choose the colors of our LED lights.
I'll go with the light blue.
Pro tip, there's a button on the boat so you can change these colors anytime. And just like that, we were off on another unique tour.
You can see I'm glowing green. Mo's get a little shot at him glowing purple. Yes. And oh yeah, by the way, we're in an amazing cavern.
This is truly a one-of-a-kind experience. The glow from the kayaks and the headlamps from your fellow kayakers are the only lights on the water. It's pitch black without them. I stay toward the back of the group, and I really do think that's the way to go. I could see all the beautiful colors from the lights dance around in front of me, on the walls and on the ceiling. Wow. I think Mo was enjoying his paddle too.
This is pretty epic. We're kayaking in a mine. What? That's insane.
There are rainbow trout in the water, and those suckers are pretty big. Of course, no paddle is complete without a race. And a bit of singing.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aiden. Happy birthday to you. Woo. Let's go.
You're on the water for about an hour and a half. It's an easy paddle, no current. It's chilly but not cold. I promise you, you can do this adventure.
There's just always something cool about seeing and doing something that not everybody see and do. This is totally doable. SUP Kentucky, Rogers, Kentucky, Wolfe County. Do it, guys.
I put together a whole video just on the Glow Kayak Tour. I'll drop a link right here so you can go even deeper into this adventure. You'll want to, because those tour guides are some jokesters. We also have information on all the equipment we use for these videos and these adventures, and we have helpful links and directions in the description below.
What are some of your favorite caves or caverns we might have missed?
Let us know in the comments below. And if you found the video helpful, hit that like button and consider a subscription.
Nothing to consider.
Hey, remember, experiences make up the art of adventure. Go get it.
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 Go get it.